So I came across this video today when I was looking for other videos, and it just intrigued me. Why is this symbol hidden everywhere in the UK? So the channel is Chris Spargo. Links down below. It's a short video. It's only 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Thanks for watching with me, guys. To me, it looks like aliens. Like it looks like a spaceship with like the light beams or something coming out of it. I don't know. What do you think? We're going to find out though.
If you live in the UK, you have passed symbols like these thousands of times, and you've probably never noticed them. I had never noticed them until I got an email from a subscriber. They're called benchmarks. No one knows exactly how many of them there are, but we know it's at least 100,000, and it might be as many as
Jeez.
500,000.
Wow. So holy crap. 100,000 and maybe as much as 500,000. What are they though? Benchmarks, huh?
If you're in the UK, no matter how remote you are, you do have one of these hidden in plain sight around you right now. They were installed by the Ordnance Survey, Britain's...
So you just do. That's how common they are. He said if you're in the UK, you got one close by. So go outside and check, guys. If you're in the UK right now, go look for this flying saucer. It's not a flying saucer, but that's what it looks like to me, right?
around you right now. They were installed by the Ordnance Survey, Britain's national mapping agency, starting in the 19th century. Back then, if you wanted to know the difference in elevation between this town and the next one, there were very sophisticated tools that would allow you to measure that, but you would have to go out and work it out yourself because no one else had done it for you. And as we started to build things like railways, it was becoming pretty important to know the differences in elevation across the country. So the Ordnance Survey went out and spent 2 decades mapping out lines across Great Britain and Ireland, measuring the differences in elevation along the way. And at every point they measured, they left one of these. And once they were done, each of those benchmarks became a new reference point that could be used to fill in the rest of the country.
Okay.
If you look at Ordnance Survey maps from the 19th century, you'll see these benchmarks everywhere. So now if you wanted to know the height of a particular point, all you had to do was measure it relative to the nearest benchmark. And then you'd instantly know its height relative to every other part of the country. But a lot of these symbols are on the side of private buildings because the Ordnance Survey Act of 1841 had given them the right to enter private property and do what they needed to do. And I was surprised to find that this law is still in effect. Theoretically, if they needed to, the Ordnance Survey could still demand to enter your property and stick a benchmark on the wall. But it's unlikely because the benchmark network was decommissioned more than 30 years ago. In fact, the last one ever was carved into this milestone in Milton Keynes in 1993, outside what is now a harvester.
In 1993. Wow, so the symbol is the line with 3 things pointing to the line. So I guess the 3 things means like because like triangulation, right? When you have 3 points, you can triangulate and you can figure it out. And then the line must mean just because that's just like the level point, like the horizon or something.
It's covered in ivy, so you can't actually see it, but it's there. These days with GPS, there's not much use for benchmarks, but there is one small part of the network that's still in use to this day. They're called fundamental benchmarks, and there are about 200 of them. They were built more than a century ago to serve as a solid bedrock for the rest of the network. I mean, literally, they go almost 2 meters underground.
Wow.
These days they contain passive GPS stations. Since we know the exact position of these benchmarks, we can use them to correct and enhance the data we receive from GPS satellites. And using this, modern surveyors can pinpoint their location anywhere in the country to an accuracy of about 1 centimeter or so.
Wow, that's actually really cool. So yeah, because this is so embedded in Earth, like this ain't moving, right? So the benchmarks, I guess, like somebody could tear their building down, they could remodel, so you might lose that reference point. So these ones are like solid reference points or whatever. Yeah, that's cool. And then of course now they got like a GPS module or something inside of it or whatever. That might be what this is here. Maybe just the opening for like the sensor, the dome for, because it has to have access to the sky, right, for the GPS to work. So that might be what this is here in the middle.
Some of these fundamental benchmarks are on private property, which is why Ordnance Survey retains the right to access those areas. So the benchmarks live on in a small way. More of them are being lost each year due to redevelopment. But if you're in Britain, I do recommend you have a search online because you'll almost certainly find that you're surrounded by dozens, if not hundreds, if not thousands of them. And if you know any other cool things like this, do feel free to give me an email, because this one was great.
That's cool as hell. So I'm subscribing to this dude's channel. This reminds me a little bit of there's a channel, Paul Whitewick or something, and he is in Britain and he goes around and it's short video, not always short videos. I guess a lot of them are like 20 minutes, but some of them are short. And he'll go around and look at like old Roman roads and like different cool stuff like this, like the London Guidestone. Maybe I did a reaction on the London Guidestone. It might have actually been Paul Whitewick channel. I'm not sure, but yeah, Chris Spargo is this one here, guys. So go check it out. Like I said, links down below for this. And I think it would be really cool if you guys went out, found these, listed it down below. Like if you've seen these, comment that. How cool would that be, right? Like get a whole comment. Like how many can we get listed in the comment section? That'd be cool. But anyways, thanks for watching with me, guys. Have a super fun, awesome day. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. Bye.